These two pieces, two very different people attempt to convince important figures in their lives that they are correct. Bounds of Comedy by Conor Reagan, an Irish comedian, attempts to convince a lawyer he's funny. And in Under the Influence by Jeffrey Rudell, a gay son attempts to convince his parents he's worthy of love. Hi, hello. My name is Conor Reagan, and I'm your Irish comedian for the day. The story I'm about to tell you takes place in the doom and gloom of the Irish economy, 2010. You see, the doom and gloom of the Irish economy is when the housing market that was going so great for us before 2010 completely crashed and everything went completely bonkers. You see, the economy took a 90-degree drop and everyone's high-priced property completely died. All the nice houses that were worth $1 million were now suddenly worth $500,000, and all the $10 million houses, somebody got those for $700,000. It was crazy. And I was channeling my anger at this economy crisis into writing funny jokes. And I'd recently performed a piece in front of some bankers and lawyers, and I'd maybe name dropped one of the fellows there and maybe blamed his entire billboards for the housing crisis, and all the billboards and economy stuff he put up completely destroyed the housing market. He didn't think it was funny, evidently, because 2 weeks later I'm taking a train ride home. I get an email. I look down and I see, okay, I'm getting sued. That's a wonderful thing to see on a train ride. I'm getting sued, the phone says in front of everybody else. And so I call my lawyer and I ask her, can I fix this? And she says, why don't you come down here, perform the piece for me, and I'll decide whether what you said was good. And I'm thinking, okay, I got this. I take a drink of water before the piece, and for 20 minutes, I hit everything perfectly. Delivery, setup, punchlines, everything I do in that piece is on point. It's the best performance I've ever done. And for 20 minutes, she does nothing. Occasionally, she'll look up at me, look down at her notepad, scratch something out on her notepad, and go back to looking at me. She doesn't quirk a smile, no twitch of the lips, no little chuckle at the end, just stares at me. And then I finish this glorious piece with a great punchline. She looks at me, looks down at her 10 pages of notes, looks back up at me and says, I think you're gonna have a hard time convincing a jury that's funny. The story I'm about to tell you has no lie. My parents taught me to be kind and courteous and accepting of everyone I met in life. I wish they passed those ideals onto themselves. My Independence Day becomes Memorial Day in 1981, where I come out to my parents as gay. Overall, it's not a traumatic experience for anybody. I simply sit my parents down, they look at me, I look at them, I say, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. They look at me, I look at them, I pack my bags and I go take my freshman exams. I think nothing of it, because I'm holding out hope. I'm under the influence of the most dangerous drug, hope, because all my friends that I've had say, hold out hope, even if your parents are angry and loud and scary at first, hold out hope, because deep down they love you. And unfortunately, my parents do not love me. They do not want me. My parents, after I leave, take everything I ever was for 18 years, all my furniture, my clothes, my paintings, my report cards, any photo with me in it, out into the front yard, and with the help of a cigarette and a lighter, everything I ever was for 18 years goes up in flame. And for 6 years, I'm all but alone, because all my friends leave me because they cannot stand to see me doing the horrible stuff I'm willing to do to myself to try and make my parents love me. I do not grow. I stagnate and stay the same. I can't do anything because I want them to love me. I want them to be to accept me, because I'm under the influence of hope, and hoping that eventually they'll take me back. That if I don't grow, don't change, be the Jeffrey they knew, they'll love me. Eventually it becomes too much. After 6 years of being alone, I cannot take it. I fly down to my mother's office. I walk up. I see a receptionist. I say, "Will you please page my mother?" And she looks at me, hits a little button, and then my mother's walking down the halls. I can hear her heels click-clacking on the door, and she walks up, opens the door to the reception lobby, looks at me, I look at her, and then she turns around and walks away. 2 weeks later, I get a funeral wreath. Black roses entwined on vines that say, "In Memoriam